Here we go. I've got 15 minutes to do a demonstration of shiny. I've sketched out my image. This is what I'm using. Let's see if I can get you to see this. Hopefully you can see that. Oh, there we go. Now the first thing I'm going to do is identify, I'm looking through the camera here, what I want white of the paper. And really, there's these highlights here. Oh, I'm looking through the camera currently. I think there's there, maybe not there. Depends what I put my tone as, and perhaps some light in behind the ball dark here. So there's not a lot of light, as usual. I'm going to put a wash. It's almost as if I'm working with, almost as though I'm working with, I'm having to duck my head here. It's almost as if I'm working with, doing the face kind of thing. Again, I'm looking at what's in light and what is in shade, and that's my only, I've got some in the mirror here too. Okay, I'm going to get this tone on quickly because I've only got 15 minutes. Maybe I'll make a second one to finish it up. See if I can get this done in half an hour. I need another brush. I always have a loaded brush with water. A brush loaded with water. So, I'm going to put a tone over here, and I'm going to gradate it. Gradate it onto the edge. And I'm going to put a tone over here. Ooh. And I'm going to gradate it a bit. Now, my hair is dark. Even though it's going grey, it's still dark. But I'm going to treat it. Mind you, the light is coming quite low. So I'm going to there's a little reflection of my head in the mirror. I kind of stage this. I'm working, you notice, from a black and white photo. I just thought that would make things easier, and I'm not going to add color to this. This is just a demonstration of, really it's a demonstration that could be done for drawing, as opposed to painting. Now I'm going to use it for painting in my watercolor class, painting things shiny. The color is just something that gets added, glazed on afterwards, of course. And then all that is shade. And there's a little bit of light catching the nose. So this is kind of interesting because it combines a bit of working with the face. With shiny things. I could have made the face a little bigger in here. So, checking the time here. It's flying by. Hopefully my head isn't getting in the way. Yeah, I'm actually working bigger than I did in the other one, so that's going to be a bit not debilitating, but it's going to slow me down a bit. But I've got bigger brushes, so hopefully there will be some compensation there in terms of working quickly. This is the benefit of washes. They really can chuck them on quickly. I'm going too dark here. Whoops. It is darker than my... This is the thing, when we do the exercise... excuse me. When we do the exercises, you know, I want you to do it all very methodically. I don't want you to cut corners, you know, like I just did by going a little bit darker. You know, I want you to methodically. There's a little bit of light there. Build the layers up, but of course, once you start painting a lot, you will. You will start to cut corners. Now, this is all shade in here. Now, in here, the reflections are not fully white, but I'm going to leave a couple of them white, and I can always knock them back later. I'm going to leave some of them. I can always make them a little darker later on. But they're not fully white, so I'm deviating from the exercise. Now, if you're just starting this, I shouldn't be leaving these in because I perceive tone on them. But I'm going to ignore that because I have to look here. What's going on there? I'm going to do the same in here. There's some, but I can knock them back later on. I'm going to leave some little highlights in this bowl, and they're not really highlights. They're reflected lights. I shouldn't be doing this in an exercise that I'm showing you. Warning, warning, warning. But I'm gonna, because I still am narcissistic enough to want to do a good painting in front of you in a demo. But I'm making it, I'm you know, I want it to have a little sparkle, so to speak. Okay, now in here, so these shouldn't be there. They should be in the tone, but I can knock them back later on. These are two transparent balls, by the way, and this one is a shiny ball. There's similarly shiny things in there, but I am going to cover them up because this ball is the big ball. I need to soften some edges in there. I'm going to put a little shiny thingy there, and that is it. There's a couple of reflections in here that are similar to here, but I'm not going to put them in because this bowl is going to go much darker and be a lot more contrasty. So I feel I can afford to do that. That's not there. So it's sort of looking kind of like, I mean, just one tone, it's already starting to look like something. Now, again, this, well, you know, these ones are pretty bright. I'm going to use these, you know, in the photograph. Sometimes I don't like working from photographs. I would prefer to be, you know, painting this from life, which I could do, but I can't really do it. I can't very easily do it and rig up this structure I don't have room in my tiny studio to have this filming thing and the still life set up on the table. So, but the one good thing about working from a photograph is that, particularly for something like shiny things, is that it encourages you to, now this one is not quite as bright as that one, but I'm going to, these are the executive functions, you know, decisions that you have to make as well. I am going to to make it as bright. You know, you have to decide. It's a creative decision-making process. Anyway, I was going to say the photograph. I'm rambling. I can't think and do two things. I can't think and chew gum at the same time. The photograph, working from a photograph or a computer screen or a JPEG, tends to flatten out the shapes that you have on a shiny object. And that's ultimately, if you were working from life, what you would need to do in your head is to flatten it out and perceive these simple shapes. And so working from a photograph in this instance can actually be helpful to some extent. You know, it can help you frame your approach, set you up. I don't know how we're doing for time yet. Let's check this thing, see if it's wrong. Yes, still recording. Yeah, good. I'll go a little bit more until it stops and then I'll start another one. And these photographs that I take, I actually adjust them a little bit to make them better for painting. Well, that's another reason I like to use the photograph too, is because you will be using my photographs, probably, unless you come up with some of your own, which you're welcome to. But I've set these up to try and make them simple. This is part of the problem with doing shiny things, is that you have to make sure you have simple reflective patterns. Now, if I were doing this from life, as opposed to from a photograph, I would have to turn the lights on in my room, and then all of a sudden I got all these little sparkly lights in the ball. It's too busy. It's not simple enough. Problem. So the great thing about working from a photograph also, in this case, is that I get to reduce the noise, you know, the visual noise that is coming from reflected light. Oh, we're still recording. So I'm starting to come in for a second tone now. And God, my hair's a mess. It's starting too dark. I need something in between. I don't need a high degree of detail in here. Oh, we're still recording. I didn't quite make that shadow. enough. Still recording. Soften some edges. Still recording.